Hello and welcome in this video where we are going to look at how to generate an atlas map in Tooll3. So what is an atlas map? An atlas map is a square texture, not only square, but usually it's easier to work with a square texture where you have multiple images on the same image. So how to generate this? It's easy. Here is the setup, and we are going to build it together. So I will keep it at the top in order to see what I'm doing. And as we can see, we need files in folder. Files in folder. And in files in folder, we need to click on the three dots here in order to reach our folder with images. So I have a bitmap folder and I have a particle folder where I have all my images. So let's select the folder. Let's press open. And now, if we add a load image, we can't use this like this because we need to pick a string. So let's take a look at, let's go back to, if we pin files in folder, press P on the keyboard, we can see that we have the address of each image. So let's add a pick from string list. So Tooll is offering us to use it directly, and let's connect this to load image. And now when I pin load image, I will see the first image, which corresponds to the index 0. So index 1, and so on. So this is already very interesting to select an image from a folder. Then we will use a layer 2D and a slice viewport. Then a loop. And a render target. So let's pin the render target. And for now, we see only our image alone. So since I want a square image, I will set the resolution of the render target to 10, maybe 2048 by 2048. So we have a square image. And we need to set the slice viewport. I want 3 columns and 3 rows. And now we have our first image at the top left. Here in loop we have count, and since I know we need 9 images, I will type 9. And we need, here we have an index variable, so I need a get int variable. And we are going to use it here for the pick from string list. And now you can see that we have all the images stacked on the top left. And this is why we need to plug the get int variable to the cell index of slice viewport. And now we have our atlas map. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Well, an interesting thing is, since my images are PNG with transparent background, I can set render target here, clear color to transparent by sliding down here like this. And also, since if you're using a lot of images, it might be very slow, or if you're doing something else than just loading images, So what you can do in that case, to just render one image, you can disable enable update from render target like this. So what I can do is to click here to the bool input and add a trigger. Or even better, let's add a boolean. Get rid of the trigger. So now, since the boolean is set to false, we are not updating the image. So if any changes are happening here, we won't see the changes. Like for example, let's say slides report, let's say I want a cell count, I want 4 columns. And we see the changes because it's our boolean is set to true. So let's disable it. Let's try again, back to 3, no changes. And so when I set enable update to true, we see our image and we can disable it. And now we have our image. Yeah, that's it. That's how to create an atlas map with Tooll3. Maybe we can take a look at how to use the atlas map. So for example, let's add a grid point. Let's use DrawBillboards and let's connect our brand new atlas map to texture input. Let's pin DrawBillboard and now we see this. And if I take a look, if I zoom, we see that each point of grid point, for example, draw some points along like this. So in the place of each point, with DrawBillboard and texture, we get the atlas map. And this is not what we really want. So let's go to DrawBillboard, texture and cells, parameters. And here we have atlas size. So let's replicate the size. So 3 columns and 3 rows. And now you can see that every point has its own picture. Now we can add a camera and a render target. Let's pin the render target. I press P on the keyboard. And now we can move the camera and have some fun. And you can do something like that. Kawaii particles. Oops. Yep. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something.